a question we get a lot is what happens if we need to transport? And that is a reality of what we do. You know, birth is very unpredictable. There is no black and white, but that is why we spend hours and hours and hours training on how to handle a transport situation. We also collaborate with a lot of physicians in the area, and one of the benefits of us being in the birth community for so long is we have developed relationships with physicians over the years who trust us. So with that being said, we do have protocols that we run with Baylor Dallas because of the close proximity of the birth center in Baylor Dallas, and we do those periodically, and then that way we know, and they do as well, how to make the transport as smooth as possible. The number one reason for transport is for exhaustion, maternal exhaustion.
That's more than often the reason we're going.
Yeah, right. And because we do have those protocols set in place beforehand, and those are things that we talk with the clients in prenatal visits as well. Hey, this is kind of what to expect, and this is what we do. We make it as smooth as possible. So if a transport is needed, again, if a mom is exhausted, or if our care needs to go to the next, the next level, then we do it as smooth as possible. So we can call the hospital beforehand and just let them know, hi, this is, Becky with Dallas Birth, and we're going to be bringing in a patient.
And just to add to that, we're discussing all of this with you, so if we know what normal birth looks like. Once things start to go outside of normal, that's when we have a conversation with you.
Right.
It's like, okay, this is what I'm seeing. This is, where it looks like it's possibly going. Let's talk about your options. Let's talk about, transporting to the hospital. How do you feel about that? Let's dig into it. It's never really, unless it's an emergency situation where those are rare, but it's never really like, okay, I've made this decision for you to go to the hospital, without talking to you, right? Again, that goes back to shared decision making.
Right.
So, but again, it's very rare. Those, we gotta go now type of situation,
really
transports, they're very rare. So, but again, we have a really good relationship with Baylor Dallas, and we've done emergency drills with them, which was great, so, that helped us to formulate a really good protocol for transports when we need to.
Yeah. And it happens, whether the birth plan changes or you change the plan, it happens. And so that's why we do talk to you a lot about it in prenatals, especially as we get closer. I usually talk quite a bit about it at the first appointment, just so we're all on the same page. And then as we get closer to the birth, we talk about it. If you're at home, we talk about what's your closest hospital. In the event of an emergency, where would we go? And then if it's not an emergency, which again, as these ladies expressed, it's often more just because mom's tired, then we will make the trek out to Baylor, if you're 45 minutes away, just because they're really wonderful at taking care of clients. But it's also up to you. I had a client recently that was just tired, first time mom, and she really had been at it a long time, and she wanted to go. And so I made arrangements to go to the hospital here at Baylor. And on the way, she said, no, I just want to go wherever's closest. And that's what she did. She was very happy, so it's really just all about supporting you and your plan. And even if that plan changes, now everybody does kind of get to a point sometimes, especially first baby, of like, I don't want to do this. This is the worst decision in the world. This hurts, because it is very hard and it is a commitment. And so we're not going to just immediately say, okay, and go to the hospital. We're going to try a lot of things. That is the difference with us in midwifery care. And so we're going to change up your position. We're going to put you in the tub. We're going to do a lot of things to encourage you that this is one of the hardest things you will ever do, and continue to encourage you. Like Nikki said, though, we've been around birth a long time. And so every once in a while we can tell when that time comes where it's like, this is not normal, and so we know there's a difference. But a lot of times mamas just need to change it up. We just need to get in the bath or do something different.
Go outside.
And they don't ask again, you know, so
Yeah.
there is a difference in saying this is really hard and I don't like this and we need to go. We need to change the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.